Getting a little with the mic on, cool, it's also moving when I talk. Great. I'd like to welcome everybody back again to what will be 1 month from now, the 5-year mark of the Hour That Stretches spoken word happening. My name's Edward Morris. I've been writing in this town in quite a few genres for a lot of years. My goal with this read, like when we started up at the Jade Lounge, the owner just said, we want something spoken word. He didn't say what. So I thought of all the different literary scenes that I hung out in. And my goal with this show has been to kind of hotwire them all together and get different writers talking that weren't talking to each other before. It's a lot like the old happenings at the Cafe Lena and the Jasmine Tree and a lot of places that aren't there anymore. I've managed to pull some of the people responsible for those reads. They're going to be at the show starting September. The format's very simple. Six performers, up to half an hour each. They don't have to use the full half an hour, but they can. No restrictions on genre or experience. We've had a 19-year-old poet that we had to sneak into the Jade Lounge, and we had an 84-year-old man who wrote an episode of The Twilight Zone, William F. Nolan, come in here and read a murder mystery, and everybody in between. The audience is one of my main tools of both recruitment and participation. My favorite kind of performer we get is somebody who comes up after the show and they start talking about it, but I know there's more to what they have to say. I'm like, you have an act too, don't you? And that's where I feel like a third of the bill is between me and my hardworking slave pit of a production crew and the Legionnaires Writing Workshop. This thing has really started to take off, and it's going to be taking off more so. We're going to be a full-fledged literary nonprofit very soon, and I have you all to thank for it. Please give yourselves a hand. Yeah, I was often reminded, when I started this up, I was often reminded of something Bob Dylan used to say to young performers and artists in New York. He'd kick them out of bed at 9 o'clock in the morning and go, all right, you got an act? You got something to say? We'll put you on stage at Carnegie Hall, but you got to get your act together. And so many people come to me already having their act together, but the format kind of waits itself. We want poets, rappers, lit fit people, bizarro people, horror writers, people with electronic stuff strapped to them, and they make poems come out of it, everything in between. If it is spoken word and you have an act, talk to me, or find us online at the.hourthatstretches.org or facebook.com/hourthatstretches. Okay, now we've got all that out of the way, we can get to the meat. I'm going to bring our first performer right up as soon as I get this ancient tongue to cooperate. Nathan Tompkins was born in a hospital by the Kootenai River in North Idaho, much to the horror of the local populace. Luckily, they managed to kick his ass out and send him to Portland. To keep his mind occupied, his mother taught him to read and instilled in him a love of poetry by introducing him to the work of Alfred Noyes, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, Edgar Allan Poe, and many others. When he was 13, he met a romance novelist who inspired him to start writing. He didn't realize he was cursed until too late. Since then, he has gone on to empty venues throughout Oregon and Washington. His writings have been featured in many publications, including the Non-Binary Review, Drunk Monkeys, 5 to 1, and Windfall, a journal of poetry of place. He's the author of 5 chapbooks, the most recent being Uncomfortable Adventures, and he is no stranger to our stage. Please welcome him back to the Hour That Stretches, Nathan Tompkins, taking the bullet.
Yeah, I think this was my 4th time.
Yeah,
First time was back in 2013, not too long after we started this thing. Anyway, first one's just called The Drive. Grandpa tells me as we drive the snow-brushed back roads of North Idaho, how he took my mother on a drive along the same unpainted asphalt paths the night before she married her first husband, so he could explain to her that it was not too late to back out. That it would be okay, and even preferable for her to call it off. Better to give the marriage an abortion than to shove paper vows into a shredder to erase her name for the pledge. But she felt she owed it to the mystery man, the man I have only met once, on a visitation in Portland when I was 6. So she spoke the words before the Mormon bishop and slashed her name placed her future on the contract line. If she hadn't, he would never have donated his sperm, his genes. I would never have been thrust screaming into this world in that hospital by the Kootenai River. Sometimes, I think that would have been okay. This was recently published in 521 magazine called Burning Lemons. Once, your name felt like 25-year-old whiskey, smoky, warm, seductive, as it drifted between my lips. Now, your name leaves a bitter residue on the edge of my tongue as I sit on this fucking bar stool, slamming shots of Cuervo and sucking lemon wedges. When life gives you lemons, you must saturate the trees with gasoline and burn the whole goddamn orchard afire. About a year and a half ago, Thought Crime Press put out a call for an anti-Trump anthology called Not My President. And I submitted and it got accepted in it. And, you know, this is called immigration and everything. But what really did a reading back in April. And there was this young lasser. She was only 17 years old. She was taking part. And her parents came over illegally too, and literally swam the river. And she was going by a pseudonym because she was worried that there would be repercussions. But she was so damn brave, and I just hope that she's okay. It's called immigration. My best friend R once told me her pregnant mother hid in the near suffocating heat of a semi-engine compartment across that Mexican border. So she could be born a citizen, economic refugees chasing a dream, much like those faceless fruit names hanging from my own family tree. But now, a small man has his orange hands up Lady Liberty's copper green dress, while he blows out her symbolic torch, smothering the fires in her own eyes. But now, her arm shakes with PTSD anxiety, no longer open to fold to a mother's breast the hungry, the poor, the masses yearning to be free. And now, she whispers names to ice, sings them on the New York salt breeze, accompanied by the six-string acoustic guitar like Earl Ives once sang to Joe McCarthy. Now refugees fear that knock on the door, live by muffled voices and candlelight, huddled in ghetto basements, ever listening for the footsteps on the floorboards. They flee the promised land, this country of opportunity, risking arrest and deportation or worse. Now the frostbitten fingers bite through snowbanks that wall our Canadian border. R says that she still hunts the dream along pockmarked train tracks, nailed to an ebbing sand tide. The single mother, her 40-hour work week, her evening classes. She says that when she wakes in the dark, when sleep is scarce and early morning shadows amplify the imagination, she listens for footsteps on the floorboards and swears she hears them knock. Call to my daughter. I wonder if you ever stare at the Southern Cross as its light of ancient dying suns floats across the summer ocean. While I watch my withered reflection in the waning winter moon, dreaming of sitting beside you on a Gold Coast beach. As we eat fish and chips, digging our bare toes into the cooling nightstand, while I read to you your namesake poem, Poe's Annabel Lee, in the dwindling twilight, the whitecaps rolling between our ankles as we languish in our own kingdom by the sea. Or do you just cross out my name wherever you see it written? About a year ago, back in June, I had a couple of deaths. One was a good friend of mine. She passed away from cancer. Then my daughter's maternal grandmother passed away too. She was a good person. It's really kind of striking because that's her last living grandparent in Australia where she lives. And so she doesn't have anybody, any grandparents over there now. And since she was living with them, they really kind of shook her up. The cocoon. When the moment came and the word received, gripped in our own convulsing hands, we heard our hearts stop all four chambers to give a brief moment of silence, and we felt our eyes film in the morning dew. We lit candles, drank whiskey, while we listened to her spirit escape, at last from the titanium prison of her struggling lungs. Her daughter's touch, her daughter's voice, leading the way. Cancer was her cocoon, death her butterfly. This short one is actually brand new. I haven't edited it, so it's based on an Irish myth. And there was this braggart over in Ulster who was saying that his wife could run faster than any horse. And well, it kind of offended the king. And because of his ego, he said, "Okay, well, she can race my horses." And the guy said, "Well, she's pregnant." She was like 8, 9 months pregnant. And we just wait till after she gives birth and she's rested up a bit. He says no. So she ran. Oh, after the race. She was forced to race to soothe the ruler's masculine ego, and she ran and screamed. She was 9 months pregnant when she crossed the finish line, collapsing in agony. Her stillborn twins bathed in blood and tears as she cursed the men with her pain. What her curse did is that she cursed that the warriors of Ulster and their sons, if ever Ulster was in danger, they would have to suffer the pain of childbirth. It kind of helped set the path for the cavalry. This next one is Reaganomics. Lived in Portland, area for the last time back in, I don't know. But anyway, I was like 11. We are fucking poor. In 5th grade, we stand for hours on Saturday mornings in our hand-me-down clothes as the drizzle clouds flowed through Portland streets, waiting for a 5-pound brick of government cheese, baby formula, diapers, beans, and cornmeal. Monday through Friday, I'd walk a mile to school, rain or shine, to eat the free breakfast, the canned fruit medley, the powdered eggs, milk, free lunch, Salisbury steak, hot dogs, and institutionalized pizza. Supper was baby formula and cornmeal mush glued to our ribs to smother our bellies' tears, to muffle our weeping from having to be buried in the same old shit as the day before. All the while, Dad worked sometimes 2 full-time shifts to keep this decaying roof, these rotting walls up around us, blocking out the winter so we wouldn't have to huddle in the back of the old car, warmed by stale breath and blankets. The floor beneath the Christmas tree lay naked in the flashing red and green lights strung between the plastic branches, while the stockings hung unfed, crucified by thumbtacks, with cracked, barren walls that pollinate the truth that Santa Reagan despises, punishes children nurtured in poverty. Turned 42 a couple years ago and wrote this one because truthfully I never thought I'd live that long. I never expected to live long enough to learn the answer to life, the universe is everything. I always believed microorganisms would be feasting on my organs, their steel wool teeth scraping the bits of meat off my bones, or a box of my ashes sitting on someone's shelf next to a fading picture behind a framed window, or ash flecks of me floating on the river's skin until the ocean waves lullaby tucks me in the sandbar bed. I always thought I'd be stretching from a branch, eyes bulging, tongue sticking from my lips as the manila lime digs its way into my throat, trapping stagnant air to my struggling lungs, or carving farewell lines down my wrist, painting the bathtub walls with my illness. But I am a depression warrior, digging trenches in the swamp with a short-handled shovel, combating the perpetual stagnation, the jungle bog suckling my marrow with words shot from the muzzle of a brass-knuckled tongue. Woo! This is a bit older one, called The Erratic Train. And the case it mentioned in here is actually still unsolved. Feel the paranoid, riding the erratic train as he sit around a black top coffee table in a duplex apartment in St. John's. Pass the joint to Michael on my left. The other left, right? His black fingers still stained with blood, ancient remnants of the murders he committed for heroin and cash 25 years inside. He lifts the end to his lips and sucks it in, holds the breath for 30 seconds, exhaling musty smoke to the jacket ceiling, and then he hands it to Norman. He squints his black Cuban eyes while he inhales, and I can almost see the skeletal finger bones glistening white beneath the brown skin as the skeleton lips part and he smiles, passing the disappearing joint back to me. He was stabbed to death by 3 Mexicans as he drunkenly lurched down Lombard. 2 middle-aged men smoke grass with a 16-year-old boy in St. John's. But right now I don't give a fuck. I have a homegrown permagram. At least at first, when I'm riding the erratic train with a convicted murderer and a future homicide, feeling paranoid. Every goddamn time a car rolls by outside, I look out the window, eyes peek out between 2 dusty white blind flaps, as I know the cops will call and bust me. To see my bloodshot eyes, smell the wasted remains of cannabis upon my faded blue denim jacket. Listen to my emphatic denials lazily drip from the surface of my stone tongue. And I ride that erratic train with a convicted murderer in a future cold case homicide. Call the name. Unfold my fingers from the pleats stitched into my palms, his initials branded along my lifeline. I wish I could leave it behind me, scrub away beneath the risky faucets, skip those letters from the tips of my fingernails across the river. But no amount of liquor dreams, no amount of black tattoo ink will cover the shame beneath a portrait of my living canvas. No amount of the hourglass of sand will polish his face from my eyes, the way his glasses dangled on his nose, or his naked body handcuffing my life, burning his name into my palm. This is the Needle's Edge. My cousin had light brown curls, dimples. They are so damn deep, sometimes I would catch girls that they did not watch where they stepped. He played football, so you know he was a jock. Punched that damn ball as he ran down the field. The monk clung to his cleats and pounded his legs to the turf just to reach the goalpost. But when they found him that morning in that house in Spokane, beaten, bruised, bloody, I remembered. He had light brown curls, dimples so deep they captured unmarried girls before he found his jacket comfort in the hollow point of a needle's edge. And when I saw his mother that Christmas, I held her as she quaked in my arms. I held her as her tears dampened my shirt. And then we separated, and I watched her wipe her red eyes with a white Kleenex. And in the end, the cops didn't do a fucking thing. In the end, they disregarded the bruise on his face, on his body, on his brain. They claimed the blood splatter on the wall was from shoving poison to his withered veins. So his murder was ruled an overdose. He was just another dead needle freak. And who cares if one heroin addict kills another? But you know, someone always does. Even junkies have mothers who will always remember. I met Sylvia many years ago. First time I went to PCC, we had a class together, and everything. She was an older woman, and she would write about her son who had died. And then she told me where it happened. And we were talking. I was throwing off my ass, and she was talking to me. I was hoping that she wouldn't notice, but she did, and she laughed. She was wearing his socks that afternoon when we sat outside the classroom. Her long braided hair partially covering one lens of her glasses, and then she smiled with her mouth, though she had sorrow lines engraved beneath her eyes. She told me how when her son was 16, he brought home a tomato plant. Put it in his room, cared and watered it carefully. She didn't think anything of it until her policeman husband told her what it was. And, of course, they made him get rid of it, though she found out later that he planted in the woods behind her house. And she laughed when she said she would see him disappear in the trees sometimes. As she wore his socks, she told me years later she would buy it for him and his girlfriend to ease the pain, the suffering, to help them keep food down their throats as the pharmaceutical cocktails poisoned their bodies, chemical leeches trying to keep breath in their lungs, light in their AIDS emaciated faces. But she wrapped her feet with the socks before inserting them in the black tenny runners, and she lifted one leg of her light blue jeans and showed them to me as she showed me. So she told me she likes to wear his socks on Jewish holidays, curl up on an easy chair or sometimes in his bed with a book and a cup of rum-laced tea. She felt close to him then, and a touch of his spirit that still infused his clothing, the faint traces of a scent that still remained, gave her a comfort she lacked from God. Which time do I have? Which time do I have?
Oh, you're good.
All right. This one is a found poem from pages of H.G. Wells' The Time Machine, which is one of my favorite books as a kid. And it's called The White Sphinx. I awakened, roused by the touch of a soft hand, opened my eyes to an overflow of silver light, a star visible through the small blue disk of an aperture. The Sphinx tapped me with her delicate, pale lips. Her bluish-green eyes stared at my face. One hand on my heart felt my hum of underground machinery. And we went outside, stood beneath the yellow glow of the dying full moon as a ventilation pipe stabbed the scrub grass-covered hill slopes. She raised her white, luckless face to the darkening heavens, opened her lips in a weak, piteous cry, a strange animal, but I held her broad head in silhouetted shadows as I kissed her lips, her hands, her ears. Her supple, faint breath tickled my beard, the heavy smell of death's putrefaction, as she whispered, "Don't be a Mormons." There's a really good one as well. It's called Pillow Talk. That's something I was with me years ago. Sometimes she smoked her long, thin cigarette and talked about her husband, my body hair still glued to her skin. I listened, rolling one of my own as the gas ebbed from my lungs. My head settled on her breast as I stuck the cigarette in my lips and lit it. Felt the nicotine burn my throat as her words cut my ribs, scarring that bone. I want to scrape the serpentine words, the phrases branded into every dry, flaking skin cell, the words once recited in the bathroom mirror, a religious litany to ward away any pretense of happiness. find my comfort in loneliness, concealed behind cracked whiskey masks, murmur phrases to bloody my fist, break that fucking mirror, scrape them from my body like I would peel the silver coating from the fragments of glass, exposing the vacuum, but nothing can find my beauty in the shard's reflection. One last one that you're all happy to celebrate. Called How to Say I'm With You. Our late night chats, early morning texts, keep the eyes reaching to catch your smiles. My fingertips to trap the laughter, and my cupped hands lit by the setting moon. The hand lightly resting on your arm, palm prints exploring your fingers. The kiss on your chin, your earlobes as you lean back, smile, moan. But most importantly, it's knowing when to shut the door behind you. Thank you, Suja.
Nathan Tompkins is kind of a one-man reading tour. Ask him where he is reading next. He will probably tell you. How about another big hand for an hour stalwart, Nathan Tompkins. In that light, if you know of other events like this, please tell us about them. We want to cross-promote. There's one called Queer Sounds up at the local lounge, I believe, every third Sunday of the month. Camille Perry, a poet who has said that this read, quote-unquote, was one of the things that gave her wings. Camille Perry co-hosts that with quite a few other people, and the Portland International Poetry Slam occurs once every Sunday. There's going to be a new venue. It was up at the Ranger Station, 42nd and Hawthorne, but yeah, we'll let you know where that new venue is. Long story short, we're going to have a whole page of other reads like this around town on the website as that information becomes available to us. So we would appreciate any additional links to reads that already exist or ones that are going to happen soon. Our next performer, Robert Torres, is a writer and performer based in Portland, Oregon. They have worked with Monkey with a Hat On, Late Night Poems, it's P-O-M-E-S, I like that name, Twilight Theater. Their work has appeared in 1001 and elsewhere, and I just saw Robert up at the Portland Shortest Play Competition, the 10-Minute Play Festival. Yeah, the 10-Minute Play Festival up at the Clinton Street Theater, which is one of the events that the Clinton love to put on, that type of thing, where it's young artists showcasing their work. Anyway, please welcome Robert back there, no stranger to the hour, Robert Torres.
Hey everybody, in a minute. Thank y'all for bringing me to eat. I know I almost died today, just like being alive. I've been working on a lot of fiction, and then it's ready, so I'd say I've had to compile a bunch of poems from the whole 3 years I've been in Portland, so this is kind of like a weird mixed bag. Some stuff I've edited heavily, some stuff I just proofread, just about drugs and gay sex and communism and hating your job. Yeah. Pretty much all I ever think about is 4 things. So yeah, this one's from my first or second job in Portland. It's called Wells Fargo Month 3. Petulance, 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 petulance. Yes, but I have somewhere to be after this. What about you? Your house? I'll burn your house down. Your boyfriend? I will tear your boyfriend in half with my dick. Why do you waste my time? Give me the goddamn money and send me home. This one I wrote last week, kind of in the same vein, not really. A hammer. How can a child stand to know she has to wait for tomorrow to eat when there's a very brave man pouring thousands of dollars looking for Amelia Earhart's corpse? I'm so much easier to find, she wails. I'm wailing, the poem even says so. How can I stand myself writing about wailing when there's a CEO to behead? How can I bear to imagine the starving her when someone's starving her on the clock? I bought an apple today. I bought a hammer. I bought a hammer. This next one's been my Tinder profile for like 3 or 4 months. It's worked really well. Markov's spine. I am one thing that follows another. I am not what my old friends love. I am becoming the same strangers avoid. I got titties for lips. I gave birth to the sun. Do you understand me? I do not speak in metaphors. I have breasts on my face through which I pass food. The burning spear in the sky that gives us life gestated and was expelled from my fleshy body. I have trouble expressing myself on dating sites. This is about not being alone anymore. Line, whatever. The title's bad, so it's untitled now. That whole thing is untitled. The title is bad, it's untitled now. You could not love me anymore, you said, because I remind you of when you were soft and helpless, pink, twink skin, begging for cigarettes to put out. I'll buy you drugs, just let me use my mouth. I'm going to Argentina where you can't complain. I'll be radical queer and moderate left down in Buenos Aires town. You could not touch me anymore. You need a daddy to pull off your boyish clothes. I need a ghost to pull phantoms from my body. How is love supposed to get in if you won't put it there? This is Memorial Day. This is Memorial Day because the old title was the person's name, and I realized that was probably inappropriate to read in public. I wish there was time to lay around spinning Radiohead records, that we had an afternoon for you to force me through spooky French films in your faded French. I wish it didn't take the fear of distance, so let us be dishonest. But I'm only shouting sweet nothings as your boat pulls out to sea, casting roses and rhododendrons into the thrashing waves. This is a series of short poems about cars that I wrote in my car while having panic attacks. Which happens a lot, because driving freaks me out. Also being alive, but mostly driving. Car Poems 1. And what a joy it is when we were young, joyless though we were, to skate around crammed in a Tiburon, desperate late on Friday to discover where the night was happening. Your tongue on the back of a cigarette. The only reason you smoke Parliaments. You say this out loud. Your friend's homophobic friend adds this to a list of reasons to kick your teeth in. Months later, you go back out to fight. All in good fun, mind you, except he's really trying to kill you. This is a millennia-old mating ritual, and he aims to take your broken genes out of the running. But your father taught you to ignore pain, and gave you a years-old anger you can unbottle this drunk and this close to death. You survive. The homophobe respects you for this. Somebody stores some weed we never find in the night. 2. I think it was an Acura. I've never liked AFI before. I've been naked inside a car before. I shed you like a skin. You rained down upon me. The storm rained down upon the Acura. It lasts a little too long. Nobody comes. You're my consolation prize. I'm your last stop before relapse. 3. Changing in my car, I think of you. Buttoning my fashionable blue shirt. Obstinate refusal to be seen in my work clothes. Our sheer terror of a moment without blaring music. Or someone thinking we're not their friend. We had a 10-year plan. We're both off track. Thank God for bananas, Cliff Bars, lazy spring storms playing the soundtrack for the lives we're racing from. 4. He sat and drank and clapped and had a great fucking time. We used to steal things from Walmart. Evil by Interpol, the only mix CD he had. It was either that or Sarah Jaffe, you dyke. Haha, you spilled soda on my lap. No, I never called you a dyke. No, you never called me a faggot. We were nicer than we imagined and deserved. A constant, pleasant surprise. This is a poem for fuckboys on the morning. Everybody's lost somebody to Japan or college or cancer. If you're reading this, you're not dead. Maybe sleeping, lost in a high school lover's memory of your perfect hair in the cab of his shitty car. Tool is one. You should be in school. Nobody gets fucked. It's very sweet. Love is an uncorked bottle. Don't let the distance turn you to vinegar. He thought you were sweet. Every sunrise is vicious, some even cherry blossoms pink. How gentle every breath. Don't die until you're dead. Do y'all be familiar with the film genre mumblecore? It's like a hallmark, like a hipster movement, it's technically a movement. This is a poem about like wanting to be a hipster, or maybe I don't know. I guess wanting to be a hipster makes you a hipster. It's the opposite. I don't know. It's kind of like I dated. I guess hipsters like 5 or 6 years ago. Then again, also, yes, being worried about whether hipster is outdated or not also makes me a hipster. I don't know. It's too late to go back now. It's not the poem. It's just pretty good. Mumblecore. I want photographs of my knees. I want photographs of cigarettes I don't smoke. I don't take photographs. I want photographs taken of me. I want advantage taken of me. I want photographs taken of my advantages. I want photographs. I hope my privilege shows. I don't want you to be afraid of me. I want you to be in a box between my knees on the bus. This is another untitled one. A young man would like to meet to talk about books, but I'm sorry, I've gone blind. I must rely on my old lover, who I never loved, to read me books about how I should have loved him. This is titled Jerusalem Rutabaga Poontang, because I was bored at work. It's not about Jerusalem Rutabagas or Poontang. I just think I'm really funny. How much of our suffering is born from others trying to justify their own suffering? You say children need discipline to be good people. I force you into existence, and now I will hurt you until you do what I want. There is no ethical consumption under capitalism, except tuberculosis. Eat your lungs out. I am gay, and I am not dying fast enough. Nicolas Cage says acting is just a job. I say a job is just acting, though not in the way my old manager with the tall heels meant. I smile at the same old man jokes about Vancouver and honeybees. I quiver when my boss threatens to take my phone away. Daddy, daddy. Capitalism is a fin-dom fantasy I did not consent to. I didn't. Net Promoter Score is the thing that gets scored on at work. I'm sure we all have the dumb shit our bosses score us on. The poem explains my feelings about this. I don't want to worry about this. I'm worried someone will force me to care by taking away my time, of which they have already taken so much. I'll do the damn thing, but please don't force me to pretend to care. Let me do it with my hands alone. Let me arrive and disappear like fluorescent lights, flickering noise. You know the drill. I'm not mad. I'm tired of waking up to this. This next poem is about Donald Trump's brick on the Pioneer Square, which I happily discovered like last week. Somebody had like drilled the name out of it. So whoever did it, awesome. The most I ever did was spit on it. When that's all explains that too. You saw me spit on a brick. You thought it wrong. I thought it pointless until I ruined your day. I did not ask to be born here, now. Do not arrive gently from the light. I dropped acid instead of going to protest. Acid taught me how powerful and weak ideas can be. It's another one with a really random title, but I have to say the title because it begins the sentence. The Rainbow Piss Temple Agglomerate chooses you to blow the horn of the end times. The horn is a dick, a medium acritic one. It makes a whistling sound. The hole is wet. You hope from saliva from the last blower, but wait. Has his spit not dried since the last end times? Is it blue? What hole is the end times going in? Tonight I'll buy a bottle of beer and a new sundress. Then swing it in the streets, the bottle, and hoist it above my knees, the dress. The cops will throw me in jail. I'll meet my perfect lover in the morning. They'll beat me up, the cops. They'll lay me down while I heal, the lover. My friend likes gangbangs, and I asked him if they were like H.R. Geiger, and he said no, they're like Keith Haring, and I had to look that up. But I don't. Who knows who Keith Haring is? Okay, like 2 people. I didn't know until my friend said it. Well, no, he's famous because he's like on T-shirt design, just like little like silhouettes of like people dancing, like red, like pastel or like vibrant colors. And it's like what he's famous for, but he also does like really simple depictions of orgies. But again, the same line. It's hard to explain. Just look up Keith Haring. After my set, don't flip it. Anyway, all that to say, this poem's title, Satellites Fucking Piles, or Keith Haring Paints with Phytophototoxins. My nose is running. You forgive me but aren't ready to dive into me. I climb out of myself onto the basalt of your chest. I am grateful the cirrus clouds are at the top of the sky. They would cause apart, settlers. I don't want to be a part. Invasive species, 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 invasive thoughts of Abiasia, building tunnels under my bedroom, flashing together machines of war. I can never go into the sunlight again. But you tell such great stories down our shadow-ridden cave. Next, will you take me to the ocean? I recently completed a teaching English as a foreign language certification, which seems like a really neoliberal thing to do, but what else am I going to do with my English degree? So this poem explains my thoughts about that. Literacy! Literacy is a vital tool for recent immigrants. A child can read clearly on this flyer that it is not her country. There are so many things you can read. You can read about the world and the people who inhabit it, the humans who train dogs to bite the arms of humans who leave trash or trash with a new language printed on it. How would they know they've escaped if they can't read the trash? The dogs won't tell them. Dogs can't read, silly. This is an epilogue to that one, I guess. You thought you had been born in a peaceful time. They taught you this, that you would behave as things became unpeaceful. I'm not going to read this title. It doesn't even... I don't have to like this. I don't want your boat shoes or your stubble or your ego. I am a long, lonely drip down a long, bright well. I pose alone with your LaCroix from many angles. I'll remember you fondly as compliments. I lost my phone soon after. Now I couldn't find you if I wanted to. I could buy my own LaCroix. I could find someone better. You're not so sweet. This is a... shit. I hope oh, yeah. I'm doing great. Yeah, we'll just throw something at me. I work on Pioneer Courthouse Square. This is a haiku called Broadway Haiku. White dudes in jackets fumble to go sushi while they trade business cards. This is called Who Are the Sex Police? My teeth are clean. My love are on a leash so he can't leave. Stories are nice because they go on and on. Songs are nice because they end. I'll pretend to love you the way you want to be loved. I like the way the letters look on the page. And here I thought it was edgy to do cocaine. Now I can't tell anyone who I've been doing this down in the mine in the cave I've lost the key to. Help me find my beautiful teeth glinting in the dark. Climb inside me like a mama fish, a permanent kiss. No one is going to make you get out of your chair. Sit there and stare. Start smoking. Die faster, die faster, die fasten to the ground. I get it, bro. Nobody gives your girls drugs but you. If I'm going to drink before work, I'm going to do it in the parking lot. No sense wrapping up another party. Plus, I can't afford to drink and drive. Who am I kidding? I can't afford to drive. It's called Second Amendment. Bring your gun, which you have every right to carry. When will they fire the cannons? Bring your cannons to this war. I'll bring love. We'll see who's won when I lay bleeding on the concrete. You march on. I get to die, which I have every right to do. That's a dumb poem. This is about Marimo. Marimas are green balls of algae. They jiggle with the tide as if laughing. You can swallow them whole to start a colony in your body. If your Marimo colony grows large enough, their cells will outnumber yours, and you yourself will turn into a Marimo, first being struck with a strong desire for the sea and for sunlight, until you finally give yourself to the water, to the laughter of the tides. It's called going to Argentina. Here's a list of strange things to say. I'm boiling with madness. I love you. I'm going to Argentina to fall in love. I will go away and then I will call you up. I'll meet your husband. He'll ask about Argentina. I will tell him about you. You'll go to Argentina. I will be lost at sea in love with losing myself. I will take you to the Pampas on my rented horse. I'll play you gaucho songs. I learn to play for you. I take you on my rented horse from the Pampas to the city and the sea. You ask love to light the way. Night fell. The sea boils with madness. I boil with love. I scuttle in the dark. Your husband puts on a gaucho song. You dance. My only crush is the ocean. You pull away and I sink deeper. The sand says not to worry. You have other shores. Heedless, I await harpoon in hand, hunting your bottomless heart. Your broad smile twinkled under the sun. You pull away. I surface. I raise myself into a castle. Lightning crashes. I transmute to glass. You break me wave by wave. I embed in you my smallest victory. I fold my small victory in your shell. You break in and transmute it to glass. You bury it in another shore. I dig it out with my toes as you pull away. It's called discography. Song for punching walls. Song for cycloramas. Song for people who never call back. Song for people you call until they block your number. Song for starting fires. Song for choking. Song for choking in a good way. Song for continental drift. Song for stains you don't care to explain. Song for family you don't miss. Song for family who doesn't miss you. Song for pretending you don't want to fall in love. Song for the job you hate less than the last one. Song for the boy in ski pants. Song for the girl in mind makeup. Song for playing on a stranger's piano. Song for parties you should have skipped. Song for nights you ruined looking for parties. Song for jacking off. Song for posers. Songs for wasted days. Song for sleeping in. Song for things unlearned. Song for staying up late. Song for when you're alone. Song for when the lights come up and everyone stops moving. Thanks. Like that. I'm going to do one more as well. Cool. It's all against the $15 minimum wage. If we get too cold or hot, we die. If we get too full of bacteria or viruses, we die. If we don't drink water, we die. If we don't eat often enough, or eat the wrong things too often, or the right things not often enough, or a thing our body one day decides is dangerous, we die. If we get murdered, we die. If we fall off a ledge, or an object falls off a ledge onto us, we die. If we are tricked by the promise of permanent shelter, water, and food into traveling to a foreign place, and an object propelled by a small explosive at a very high rate of speed, even faster than an object falling off a ledge, and that object pierces one or more of our organs, we die. If a cell gets so excited about replicating itself that it forgets how to stop, and then teaches other cells and other organs how not to stop, and our flesh bubbles up and blocks all the little channels down which water slides, we die. And so we believe we are immortal until we die. Thank you very much.
This will be the case with a lot of our performers, but Robert Torres is also a one-person reading tour. Please get in touch with them to find out where they are performing next. But you see why I recruit the way I do. Just want to remind everyone that this read is in fact donation-based. I've set up coffee cans at both corners of the bar and strategically located throughout the room. Please help keep the spoken word alive in Portland. Our next performer has been an instrumental part of the hour, both through production crew and just generally randomly suggesting stuff that ends up making the mood drawing more people. Alexandria Levin is an exhibiting painter, lyric poet, graphic designer, front-end web developer, nonfiction writer, Jesus Christ, creative coach, and cat person. She has been writing poetry since the age of 15 and has been published sporadically throughout the years, mostly in literary journals that no longer exist. She's a graduate of the San Francisco Art Institute. For her senior show, she tacked poetic verse to the walls between the paintings. In 2011, she co-founded and hosted a weekly online poetry live blog called Indigo Calliope. This June, she self-published her first volume of poetry, Songs in Search of a Tune. I have a display copy if anybody wants to look at it. Please get a hold of Alexandria if it's of any interest. There's also a display copy of another hour performer's work, Nathan Carson, the drummer for Witch Mountain. He just adapted Algernon Blackwood's horror story, The Willows, as a comic book. Please check those out. We also got copies of a very informal graphic novel that I just did with Neil Anderson, a member of the writing workshop, The Legionnaires, that helped spawn this read. We just finished one about an internet comment thread called Signifying Nothing. But Alexandria has helped us get all of that stuff out. She has a few copies of the new poetry collection for sale on Breaker at the end of the evening. She says this is only her 10th poetry reading since 1993 and her first with any kind of performance aspect to it. Please welcome her to the Hour stage for the first time, Alexandria Levin.
That's good. Hi everybody. I'm relatively new to this, so my page, yes. I write lyric poetry. They don't have music yet. They have music way in the back of my head where I can barely hear it, and now it's back there somewhere. But I put together an 8 lyric poem song cycle. So I'm going to be reading one right after the other. And it's over when number 8 is done, and 8's a 2-pager, and when the last piece of paper has left my hand, then it's over. It's over. All right, I'm a little nervous. And by telling you that, I get a little bit less nervous. Let me how that works. Okay. Number 1, 2002, The Roadkill Raisin. Give me a reason, said the Roadkill Raisin. Une raison d'être, whatever that means. I'm croony and tired, and loony and wired, and those tires, they ran over me. This road is long and unwinds like a song. They play over and over and over again. I'm sick of this route. I think it's a ruse. And the last thing I want is to count up to 10. Give me a reason, one out of season, for the purpose that porpoise did reach. Explanations refrain, the waters complain, that destination is still out of reach. 2, 2005, the lagomorphic well. Set an onion spinning, a centrifuge of translucent skin. Delicate layers peel away and settle upon the floor. A paper cut, no scarlet tears, depart the house to clear your eyes. Bring a bowl and leave some lemons for the soft brown creatures who forage by the traps. Convince them that jackalopes are real, then follow along the rabbit run to the very edge of the hole. Sometimes you fall apart so completely, there you are, all gathered together in a pile of scraps where your feet once stood. No matter where you are, it's the same sliver of moon reflecting, it's the same runoff from the storm, flowing through the sewer to get to the river. 3, 2007, Bite the Bullet. Ruminating rummage, accumulated garbage, a hunter and a gatherer, pillaged and plundered. Bite the bullet and break your teeth, make that a soft and chewy bullet like saltwater taffy. Bite the bullet, champ down on a chain, a healthy reaction to feeling so disdained. Dodge another bullet and try to speed away, but there's no Coronet 440 waiting in the driveway. How many bullets do I have to bite? The aftertaste of lead is keeping me up at night. I'm shot through with pellets from corporate bandits. It's criminal, and I shouldn't have to take this. Borrow from Peter to pay down Paul. Rob from Robert to satisfy Saul. Simon says, fork over whatever you can to shush up the rest of them all. Now I'm a disenchanted outlaw, just passing through this town. It wasn't in the plans, and the treasure maps are down. So I'll bite the bullet one more time, and then I'll spit the damn thing out. 4. 2011, Anchiali's Lament. There is a fever, some kind of pounding pressure, sharpened knives poised to break a sweat, slice a river into an ancient glacier that is now dying to melt. Heat ascending and gaining altitude, steaming into the upper latitudes, dripping torrid condensation, producing night sweats, wake up soaking wet, those heart palpitations, choke up coughing toxic fumes repeatedly. Upper troposphere struggling to make sense of what on earth is going on away the hell down here. Surface temperature struggling for balance, compression slowing, then tripping over hormonal waves of liquid density. Precipitation gathering in response intensifies itself as if to cool, to chill the fire, a temporary cold front, those record-setting blizzards that soon move on, proving nothing besides the fact the system has officially gone haywire. Patterns unraveling in desperate attempts to regulate themselves, they fall apart and warm unchecked into a rising spiral, a broken shell shattered by this unrelenting surf. 5. 2012, the opposite of flying. And the butterflies flutter along here beside me, as though momentary guides. Their powdery company is so very brief. I don't know where I am anymore, barely animated, a suspension of motion, not so sure what it can be that I am forever waiting for. Encased in scratchy gauze, years folded and ignored like they never meant anything. A box on a shelf unfairly labeled, then left to itself. Stuff bubbles up suspicious, and so terribly true. Which shade of blue is painted on this lonely soul, staring at the shadows on the wall? Suspended in a gel, each day a piece of paper flips. Something falls between the leaves, bad timing and misharmony. All this second guessing. It is almost like drowning, a form of suffocating, only for some reason I am still here breathing, if just barely. How do I go forward? This stuff is so thick. My feet are off the floor, the opposite of grounded and the opposite of flying. 6. 2015. Extraordinarily wrong. You never could see all the colors that I see. You never once endeavored to open your eyes behind the pretense of your incredible guile. And you really don't feel all that much. The subtle nuance of tone has always eluded you. It exists outside the limits of your purview. You only ever wanted a thick picture plane, the appeal of opacity, for the adoring crowds between your expertise and your need for approval. I thought you were somebody real. I thought you were someone to believe in. But as time would always tell the truth, I was so extraordinarily taken in. Oh, the way you were trained to see like religion, anointed in those trends and sallow beliefs, with you lying there all shallow and brief. Or like the way you would always try to pose me against my broken will on the bumps and bruises of our worn-out bed. Unfinished in the way you prefer things, jackrabbit quick and preferably on the surface, this unvarnished veracity will eventually betray you. I thought you were there for me. I thought you were there for so very long, but as time would always tell the truth, I was so extraordinarily wrong. 7/2016. Nothing left to say. There was nothing left for me to say, not on such an impatient Wednesday, with the two of us standing so terribly still in that same old bloody red hallway. There was nothing I hadn't already said, and nothing new that would have set fire to your tindered rage. Nothing but the dust, nothing but the pages, and nothing but the stains. It didn't matter anymore, and I was leaving anyway. You insisted then on hugging me, holding me confined and way too tight, for one less awful final time, while I stood there immobilized, while holding safely to the cat. And then that was it. I left, the very next day, forever gone, on a Thursday, and that was that. 8 July 2018. Breathe in. Breathe in. Deep, the dulcet breezes, the result of a solitary exodus when the turbulent skies parted, as if they were the Red Sea. I am rain-washed and zephyr-dried. The west wind is cooling for the recently burnt, the wounded to the bone hurt. These clouds being nothing but bandages and salve, they only desire to heal the tempest-tossed. Breathe in, the smoke from the fire set alight. Accidentally, on purpose, it was only a matter of months before what was once so personal had expanded to a scale so grandstanded in Grand Theft election. Hope fading in the rearview mirror, road signs now facing backwards, barbed wire twining while rusted, devolving into where it dusted. This story is so old and yet. Breathe in. The preservation of a nostalgic effect, or so they tell us. So please lie back and take a deep breath of butane and ethylene, hydrogen, acetylene. Bask in the glow of an artificial light. Methane will warm us through fog and night. Incinerator ash is pretty as snow. Take a hot shower if you get too cold. While they are drawing baths for the children, drafting poison perfume into soap, or maybe an infected insecticidal gas. Breathe in. Way deep the gaslight, the denial of countless lies, always off kilter and undermined, the imbalancing of a sick romance, once half a couple and way too much of the public trapped in a trance, an equilibrium manipulated, exhausted and depleted, and most purposefully weakened. The American dream somehow wakes up to realize it's only a pathological lie, an essential part of a smear campaign. Breathe in. Because I once truly believed that I didn't deserve the air I needed to breathe, but something inside me persevered, compounded oxygen into myoglobin. And we will each endure in resistance as we are finding each other, as we respire life-sustaining air, as we perspire in each other's arms, as we aspire to build community, as we inspire love and creativity. Nitrogen, oxygen, argon, and we are mixing to occupy the atmosphere. Breathe in, and then breathe out.
These pumps will actually be not sailors, no shit. One more time for Alexandria 11. Our next performer, well, it's hard for Erin Gurley. She writes to describe to other people what kind of performances Erin does. Dramatic monologues, spoken word, rap, non-fiction-based lyrical storytelling. You can take your pick or offer her a new descriptive title if you so desire. She's performed internationally with different sets and different hats. She started a creative collective in Vietnam called Saigon Says. She performed at festivals throughout Southeast Asia and taught young ones about the weird intricacies of the English language. Her newest venture, the Unboxed Writing Company, is an arts workshop series for kids where she focuses on using creative expression to develop emotional well-being and communication skills for students ages 10 to 17. There is more about that online. I believe it's just unboxedwritinggroup.com. Is that right?
Unboxedwritingco.com.
Cool. Unboxedwritingco.com. Please check that out. It's a very worthwhile thing. Please welcome her to the stage for the first time, though she is a part of our production crew, the force of nature known as Erin Gurley.
Hey guys, how you doing? Alright, so I plan to kind of break it up a little bit tonight. I'm going to do a song that I wrote on the guitar, and then I'm going to read some names, and then I'm going to do a rap, if that's cool with you. Is that cool with you? Yeah. Cool. So, yeah, I'll just get started. I was going to start with a joke. But it's a really bad joke, so I'm not gonna. Got a tag from a some sunglasses I bought for a guitar pick because I'm a real professional. I'm tired of time, feeling out of line, but I can't be yours till I can be mine. I was walking through downtown, I was making my night round, digging through lost and found, trying to find me again. I got lost on the highway, GPS took me the wrong way. I got stuck on a bad day, and it drove me insane. Hitched a ride on the first plane, sound a ride on my own pain. Ended up on the same train, always jumping in the fast lane, trying to find me again. And I'm tired of time, but I've got fire in my mind, and I'll never be free, like leave it all behind. I was feeling lonely, thought I lost my one and only. I'd forgotten on me, and I was feeling out of line. I'm tired of time, and I've got fire in my mind, and I'll never be free, leave it all behind. I'm tired of time, feeling out of line, and I'll never be free, I can leave it all behind. And I'll never be free, I can leave it all behind. Thank you. Alright, so that was the first and only song I've ever written on the guitar so far, but more coming to you soon. Alright, so the next piece I'm going to read is pretty new. I got two poems, Becky, so you're good. And I would like to inform you that my name is Erin Gurley. You can find me on the YouTubes. And at Pickathon next week, I'm performing for this section called Spoken. Sorry, I am not signed in on my Google Docs, which is how I'm going to read. My apologies. 1 second. Told you guys I was a professional.
Tell a joke. And why do hipsters wear beards? To differentiate genders when they're mating. Two poets walked into a bar, and the bartender says, "All right, 5 to 7 minutes each, or you get the flashlight." The poet says, "Oh shit, he knows this. Let's go drink something."
What's the difference between a chickpea and a garbanzo leaf? Trump never paid to see a garbanzo leaf.
Maybe somebody would like to go ahead. I forgot my password, so log in here. So, it might take me a second. So, does somebody, Edward, would you like to fill somebody in while I find this?
How long's it going to take?
5 minutes. I'm so sorry.
Take a couple more minutes.
I will read a tiny poem for you.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Jess.
Yeah, this is printed from my email, only like an hour ago. Henry Higgins Bagels. If I was Henry Higgins, if I was Elijah Doolittle, if I was great, just great, I would not bet you that's what we're going to teach me. We're going to sing along with my fair lady. I'm a funny girl. I'm a Barbara. I'm a Greg. Singer, dweller, player, dumb, doing it with the word web like Wilbur. Like Charlotte. Like Perkins Gilbert. Like I want to wear a fancy hat. Like everyone should wear a fancy hat with fancy theater. When I go out of their homes, pose so casual, I'm so great today, and I'm not.
You got it, Becky.
One thing.
We're doing it sideways, folks. Just great.
Hello, it's a pleasure to be here. I've got a lot of new writing, and it's really just, I really appreciate having people to share it with, and space to be on, and amplification. Hello, microphone. Set up recording from iPhone, microphone, sub-microphone, microphone, my phone, microphone, my one-eye black-crophone, no telephone, no say we, show Karen Harvey May, all of me, Gustav, my friend. I hope you're all having a wonderful all day. And Shallah, in God we trust, in perfect peace we dwell, in perfect peace, sweet. Well, God shines his light on the just and the unjust. God loves all, God sees all, God knows all we are in stardust. And ashes to ashes and dust to dust. And sundown and sunrise to dusk we greet each new morning, each old morning with a heavy heart and a heavy head. And something like faith, like hope, like life, like hello, how much, stop hurting each other, please stop hurting each other, stop hurting yourself, stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself. This is all ourself, there is only one playing at this, and one earth, one people, one life. We have to take care of it. So don't be afraid. Everyone is doing their best. Everyone is doing their best. Everyone is doing their best. There is light. There is darkness. I don't know about evil. There is anger. There is violence. There is death. There is a decay and hunger and sickness, pain and suffering. These things are a part of life. So the best we can do is accept them or accept them What is the difference again? Into the whole. The whole, the call, whole, W, whole thing. The whole thing of a jolly thing, a jolly thing. The Holy of Holies is the unspeakable name, the I-E-A-Y-E-L-I-I-I, Captain A, Y-E-A-Y-E-L-L, Roger.
This is how you do a read together.
Hey, sorry about that, guys. I was logged into my Google Drive account, and then someone broke into my car and stole all my stuff on my computer, so I reset all my passwords, so I wasn't logged in anymore. Anyways, so this poem is new. It's called Electric. It was electric. I was, you were, we were electric. The first time our eyes met, both pairs of them lit with flames that longed to edge closer together. Upon catching a glimpse of your shoulder the first time, I remember wishing to know its taste. Lavender lotion. That clarion call of my desire, how it manifested in getting to know every inch of you I could reach. Now, you say that you are taking the time needed for you and are confused that I think that means time to get away from me. You speak of my identity like it is not something I still have to fight for. My excitement has become impatience, my eagerness now burden instead of a call to action, to force the moment to its crisis. You know I love T.S. Eliot. You know I don't like to wait. Now I am a lover too intense, living a life too raw, too open to fresh air, a woman with too high highs, too low lows, and you are a seeker of right angles. I make you touch the edge of the water under which lurks mayhem. I make you feel the urge to miss the train, kryptonite person, begging on passion and feeding on your bare skin, ripping your lips open, turning your body from a question mark to an M-dash, to a semicolon, to a full run-on sentence that never stops. Absence makes the heart grow harder, or is it fonder, or is it stronger? It's too soon to tell, but I'm one medication short of saying to hell with it all. Well, last night I did think of you and had to pull the car over. I swear, I thought my heart was going to beat right out of my chest, and I didn't have a brown paper bag, only the side of a busy highway and a YouTube video of a 7-minute panic attack meditation. I picture hanging on the summit of a mountain, dangling, looking down, even though I'm scared of heights, surveying the landscape in all directions. I'm drug dizzy and body weakened, but I want to scream down the words, I love you, to everything and nothing at all. I hate taking up all this space. I've been consciously trying to make myself lighter, footsteps quieter, less talk, more listen, but my heart has been pounding so loudly lately I'm afraid it might wake the neighbors. I struggle to sleep like the subconscious world is tired of me too. I move like a bird, fidget, always looking over my shoulders, quick motions. I talk in circles, but still love so much, to a fault, most times. Like I love you. I'm tired now, but always awake. I often try to find comfort in creatures, but I'm often let down. I'm trying to find the words to make myself come back around. Change. Looks like, feels like, smells like, tastes like, back to your eyes. That terminus of my desire. The rage that swelled in them and turned black like something in them died. My words forcing a crack in your fault lines, breaking a layer in you that protected you against the shitty places you built walls around so you wouldn't have to visit. Why is it that ones we love hurt us the most? I know we don't need to. But one thing I also know is secrets split oceans and hearts wide open if they're the kind meant not to be kept. I am gay. I know this. I have the certified haircut to show it. I've fought the battles. I've gone public, exploded out of the closet like a bombshell, covered in gasoline. And when the flame finally got lit close enough to where I could catch, I burned the whole damn house down. Because sometimes to start fresh, you have to start over. So I took the seeds of me I wanted and planted them inside my courage so we can continue to grow. Your eyes, I know, have held courage and created it too. Lit fires in other people's realms of desire, started other explosions, scared off demons, I know. Your strength is undeniable. Immovable and stubborn like the cement walls you built with anchored foundations in your chest cavities. And while I do know a thing or two about walls, I also know about breaking the down. Something I've trained, honed, and mastered. I started creating my own molds, my own spaces where I fit. No one could convince me to stop fighting, to go silent. I want to be the voice that shows others how light your shoulders can feel when you stop carrying your burdens. I was born a world changer. But you already know that. You were born that way too. Maybe this way as well, same to me. Different spot on the spectrum, but there nonetheless, whether you want to be or not. It is now something that is undeniable. Your rainbow shows, baby. And I ain't the only one that can see it. You with your right angles and order and science, and me with my chaos and wild and passion. How can you not see that we are anything less than perfect? How can you reason yourself into being angry over my insecurities that I've warned you about? The ones that have grown and grown, and my years of being the one left. This thing that I'm sorry for, the thing that reared its ugly head out of the darkness of me and bit you right on the hand, I said I'm sorry. In my place of walking a tightrope line, from here to my own sanity, juggling passion, desire, instability, love, and madness, I slipped. But only if you knew what it felt like to be fire. If you could put yourself in these tattered, bare rope, ashen feet, maybe you could see it. How I want to breathe you in. Fill myself up with you, walk the line back and forth to be good to you. How I want to see my daughter, wrapped tightly in your arms and wake up early on a Saturday just to make you breakfast. The last thing I want is for us to break this, but go ahead. Light this match. If you want to settle in your cozy and hide behind your mask, I'll move my sad body right along and continue to search for real love that lasts. Change. The act of having courage can feel impossible at times, but they're not. Like learning how to ride a bike or tie your shoes. Some things just take time. Bodies, much like time, grow old while change moves about them. But courage, my dear, courage is timeless. Alright, this is one that I'm working on for Pickathon. It's not done at all, but I'm going to do it anyways and see what happens. The next time I fall in love, I'm gonna hold my own hand. The next time I fall in love, I'm gonna take a stand. 'Cause I'm tired of all this quicksand. Keep trudging through the wasteland. I'm sticking to the new plan. Despite of you, I was born on the inside a bear. And much to my parents' despair, I was a cub catching fish in the pond while other parents sent their tots to daycare. What horrible despair! But the species on the inside didn't match the hardware will. Noun. A declaration of one's desires, wishes, or inclination. A determination. Slang. Interjection, generally expressing one's own stupidity or pointing out the stupidity of another. Ness, noun, suffix, state, quality, or condition. Put together, wilderness. I willed myself upon this stage, you see, despite the sheer difference between you and me, this lonesome black sheep, bear cub of my Alabama family. But dear friends, I have learned to reframe history. And the growing upping as a bear turned out to be the most glorious of beasts. But it did set me aside, you see. I planted the roots that grew a whole new type of tree. Will, a verb, meaning something you're going to do. The bear in me hopes to inspire some humanness in you so that you might possibly understand, or maybe if you're raising a bear cub too, to listen, be empathetic, and try to understand what they might be going through. You say, how easy a thing it is to listen. That is something we already knew. But I am here to inform you that there have not been enough breakthroughs. With bears, lions, snakes, spiders, people of different hues. There's a line longer than the equator of people spouting out words that are untrue, and I'm here, and I'm saying there has to be a better way to get through than putting our heads down and making do. Ness, the state or quality or condition of something. The bareness in me wants to talk to the humanness in you about the ness-ness of the state's condition. I live in a constant state now of premonition. I wear my bear hair long to cover my eyes. I mind my elbows when I'm walking in lines. For so long I thought that discovering my bareness was something that set me free. But as of late I have been feeling this sense of unfamiliarity, this hesitance to certainty. The womanness and bareness of me moves quicker to the checkpoints of safety. Now, looking back, I've had to fight for as long as I can remember. When I'm tired of fighting, I hibernate through the winter. Love, fairness, and care feels lost on me. Despite support from a couple friends and family, I feel bitter at the stateness of humanity. I feel sadness release into a sticky mess that leaves its trail with no guarantee of when grief will end and I can finally see. Alright, thank you guys. You guys don't mind if I do one more song? Becky, can you hit me? Haven't done this in a while, so. Row, row, row your boat. Pack up your bags and it's time to go. Can't sit still, so I hit the road. I hit the road, I hit the road. Can't sit still, so I hit the road. I'm sorry, can't stay, I left the note. I put it in the pocket of your pearly coat. Swearable that's a mess no one would want to close. I left Alabama heading for the Northwest, running to and from a heart beating in my chest. I had to admit I was a little distressed, maybe a little depressed. Can't say that I was impressed. Leaving school, pocket full of debt, work 3 jobs trying to stay ahead. Rolling on those Marlboros, 27 cigarettes. Thought I'd never offset, living out those selfless. Now I have to admit, I don't have regrets. All those mistakes are progress. I left PDX with a string around my neck. Had a cute girl lined up right on deck. I had to keep myself in check, keep on the path towards enlightenment. Row, row, row your boat. Pack up your bags and it's time to go. Can't sit still, so I hit the road. I hit the road, I hit the road. Living in soul was wild as hell, often quite nice despite the snow, but it was hard. Work weather, stay in line, live in itself. Moving ropes, head down the simple Pavlov spell. No room to excel, so I said farewell. I'll try my luck out wherever this hair gel. Went back home to the land of the free. Travel around up in Portland and down to the southeast. Around Thanksgiving feast, had to hug my mama, see my friends, swap vows in front of a priest. I got much love, and life had increased. Let's live on my life as an absentee. My last days in the States were kinda hazy. Stayed just long enough for the fam to get wavy. Got a new president who's batshit crazy. I had my hands full again, juggling ladies. I packed my life in bags and crates, wishing somehow to both leave and stay. But for me, life was still just some kind of race, figuring out how to be the right amount of insane. Now I'm up in Saigon with a view of the city. It's no mountain top because damn, it's still pretty. When I'm not in rush hour traffic, still makes me giddy. Sometimes I wish I was a little less busy, relaxing more like I'm beside Mississippi. But I'm on a high here. I'm sober but tipsy, making art in some incredible frenzy. It's nothing like when I was back living in the Dixie, when I'm at a half frenzy. I'm still on the hunt for what's missing. Row, row, row your boat. Pack up your bags and it's time to go. Can't sit still, so I hit the road. I hit the road. I hit the road. Thank you very much. I'm going to lift that back over to your host. Thank you so much for the stage.
Our next performer, Ivan Zoric, is a Serbian writer residing in Portland, Oregon. After surviving the murky waters of childhood in war-torn Yugoslavia, he now writes fiction with a Balkan flavor. He was published a whole lot in Serbia and is currently working on his first short story collection in English. Another hour virgin, we got a Bill Sullivan. Please welcome him to our stage for the first time, Ivan Zoric.
This is a new one. It's going to be an opener for the collection. It's called Dead Boy Arpeggio. Today, I turned 14, wearing another boy's name and fingers. They fit awkwardly, both a size too big, bumpy. I rolled the name across the roof of my mouth, cascaded consonants rushing to break free. It lingers inside for a moment too long and dies before I can speak it into the world. The one I was born with sneaks past it, an underlying current of syllables, almost aside. I need to practice more. I look around, nervous someone might have overheard this transgression. The schoolyard is empty. There's still another 45 minutes before kids swarm the streets surrounding Franklin High School. It's trash pickup day, and the morning traffic is heavy on Division Street. My senses drown in days of pollution. The cars are too noisy here, too bright. They even smell funny, nothing like the cheap, watered-down gasoline I'm used to. My dad's old Yugo would fit inside one of these truck beds with no problem, especially after. I'm early because Radia drops me off on his way to work. We both get up around 5 every morning, give out whatever breakfast Elena makes for us, and leave before she even has a chance to kiss us goodbye. I do not like her kissing my cheeks. Rhoda does not like kissing hers, or touching for that matter. I wonder sometimes how they do it at night. I can hear them often, a brief breaking snoring filled with grunts and slams of the headboard against the walls. How does that feel for her? Where does she keep her hands, her fingers? I look at my hands as they shiver in cold morning breeze. They turn purple, the tips of my fingers 2 shades darker than the rest. I turn them back and forth in front of my face and look for the signs of the procedure. I see no stitches. The skin looks flawless, an uninterrupted tapestry of lines and dry skin. We will be paying it off for years. A foot pushes into my back and I fall forward, hands and nose scraping the pavement. Behind me, laughter. You best be careful walking around in all this ice. So easy to slip and fall. I know who it is, and I smile that he can't see me. Took them long enough. Jason and his 2 Dubrovs. I can never tell them apart. All 3 look the same to me in those baseball hats and 2 tight pants. Jocks, I think they call it here. I wouldn't know. They've had it in for me ever since my first day at Franklin. Maybe it was my accent. Maybe it was the fact I ignored them most of the time, pretending my English was too bad to understand what they were saying. Do not draw attention was Rhoda's mantra for me. Wear that boy's name and fingers. Do not stand out. Fall back. Fall dead. School bullies are one of those things we do not have back home. When you only have 5-minute breaks in between classes and you're out by 1 p.m., it does not leave much time for bullying. We learn our lessons and earn our stripes in soccer and block fights. Beer, scarves, palms, and chants. Call it Serbian socialization, call it hooliganism, call it what you will. Blood begets blood, and mine's already spilled. I'm in no hurry to get up. I wait instead, right hand gripped around homemade brass knuckles I pieced together from a few pipes I'd found in Rhoda's garage. He'd be pissed as hell if he knew I used his power tools. A bit proud too. I don't know, the man hates me more than these 3 fuckers standing behind me. I laugh, as I know it will piss them off. I may not know school bullies, but I know the type. One of them made me an orphan 4 years ago. Teacher is holding my hand and I can feel her trying to quiet the shakes. Her sweaty palms fail her as she's trying to get a better grip on me. My hand keeps slipping out. We're sitting in plush leather chairs, way too big for me, so I must lean forward in order not to be swallowed in. Smoke rises from the ashtray in front of our school principal, and its smell I both love and hate at the same time. He smokes the same cheap cigars as my dad. I can see 2 huge sweat stains under his armpits as he swings at the fly pestering him. It's summer in my hometown, and there's no escaping the flies. He takes another deep puff and finally says, "Yo, son, there's been an accident. Your parents were in a car crash." Teacher squeezes my hand so hard it hurts. She tries to suffocate her cries, but they come out anyway. I look at her in confusion. What does this mean? Why is she crying? Should I be upset too? Are they in hospital? I ask. He shakes his head no. I'm the only way here. Do I get to leave early so they can go to hospital? Another muffled choke from the teacher next to me. She lets go of my hand and covers her face. No, son, the principal says. They're not. Well, what are they then? The teacher breaks down completely and runs out of the office. Typical Serbian display of professionalism. I can see at least 3 other teachers quickly disappearing out of the door frame. Hallway echoes with the sound of heels. Rat-tat-tat-tat like a machine gun. He looks at me, those big bags under his eyes looking larger than normal. He used to call him Principal Fraud behind his back. Yo, but they're not coming back. It was a bad accident. Their Hugo got hit by another car. A drunk teenager from what we know so far. They did not make it, son. I finally understand what he's telling me. My parents are dead. My mom, the woman who would pretend to sweep the yard every time I had to leave for school, just so I didn't see her cry, is dead. My dad, the man who waited until I was done eating every night so he could make sure I had enough, and who often ended up eating leftovers, is dead. They're both dead, and I will never hear them laugh at my silly 4th grader jokes again, or see them shoot funny glances at each other when I spend too much time in the bathroom. Dead. There is a sound somewhere in the office, at first barely audible but quickly rising. It takes me a second to realize it's me. I scream louder and louder and louder until there's no air left in my lungs and all I can see is a tunnel opening, and Principal Frog eyeing that fly. Darkness comes next. What the fuck is so funny? Jason moves in closer. I see his shadow extending past me on the ground. I laugh harder. I said, what the fuck is so funny, you freak? He leans over. Close enough. Brass knuckles catching on the left temple and he buckles down without a word. He hits the ground with a thud, and I put another kick into his teeth while he's still down. Something for him to remember me by. I jump to my feet and face the other two, my breath rising as clouds in the cold air. For a moment, they stand there, eyes wide open, trying to process what has happened. I know hesitation when I see it. Come at me and I will break your bones, I say. Liam Neeson be praised, it worked. They bolt before I can even say anything else, take the first corner and run out into the side street. Some camaraderie, they left Jason and did not look back once. I wiped the dead boy's fingerprints, my fingerprints, off the knuckles, walked down to the street and tossed the thing into a trash can. The trash pickup truck is still a block away, far enough not to see me, but close enough to pick up incriminating evidence before I get into trouble. I go back to Jason and kneel next to him. He is out cold, about the size of a plum, quickly rising on his noggin. I slap him a few times. He moans and starts blinking. I slap him again, harder. What happened? He asks, still somewhat out of it. You got knocked the fuck out, I tell him, but he doesn't get it. He grabs his head and shakes it a few times. I think I have a concussion. I'd say that's a fair guess. I help him up. You should go see a doctor. He seems taken by surprise. Why are you being so nice now? You almost cracked my skull. I point to the brick wall I've been sitting on before and motion him to sit down. He does, but eyes me suspiciously. Look, man, I have nothing against you. I get that you have some stuff going on at home or something, so you take it out on the kids here. It's nothing new. That story has been played out so many times before. I get it, okay? My dad hates me too. So does my mom, I think. But I do not take it out on others. I own my shit. It hurts, and I hate being alive almost every day, but I own it. You follow me? He nods, still rubbing the temple. There's no shame in getting your ass kicked either. I wish more people would learn that lesson. I used to get beat up regularly back at the orphan, back home. In time, I learned how to avoid it and how to defend myself too. But I never hit first, and especially not from behind, because you never know how crazy someone is until you look him in the eyes. His head hangs low and his shoulders are slouched. He rubs gently on the wall. I wasn't lying to him. 3 years in the orphanage, or kids' village as they called it, taught me to recognize anger. And I was angry, all the time. Since the moment the state social worker decided that since I have no close family to go to after my parents' deaths, it would be best for me to live with the other kids in these house communities. Families, they called it. It was bullshit. I had no family until Rod and Milena came. In some family they are. I unzip my backpack and hand him over a half-melted ice pack. Here, put it on until you get to the doctor. It should help with the swelling. And don't tell anyone how you got the bump. He takes it and places it on an injury, grimacing. It hurts. No shit. He jumps off the wall, knocking down a few loose pebbles in the process. So you just walk around with an ice pack in your backpack all the time? I jump off the wall too. The crowd is starting to fill up the streets as it's getting closer to school time. I can hear the excited chatter and low beat thumping of subwoofers as the cars pull in. Someone's practicing an 8-bar and it sounds semi-decent. There's too much perfume and too much Axe body spray in the air, and I realize I've forgotten to put on deodorant this morning. No, I say, drying up my armpits with the inside of my shirt. The work after school. There at the salvage clip. Some days hurt more than the others. Ice helps. You and your folks might be well off, but my folks are immigrants. We need every penny. He has good hands, strong, the doctor says. His eyes look bulgy even though he's squinting. The room is dimly lit, more than half of the neon light bulbs missing from the ceiling. The ones that still work buzz and flicker constantly. It's giving me a headache. The bed is a solid piece of cold plastic, covered with small towel, too small to warm up my naked back. I get goosebumps every time the stethoscope touches my skin. I chose well, Rhonda says, and for the first time in 3 months, I detect no bitterness in his tone, just stating the obvious. They sit across from me in the corner of the office, chairs a continent apart. No tenderness between these two, not even for the show. Good, good. It will make it easier. Faster recovery, doctor says. He works as he speaks, measuring, taking notes. Will it hurt? Milena asks. Poor woman, I can almost make myself feel sorry for her. She's broken in the worst way. A shattered mirror, pieces of her scattered all over the family house. I see them sometimes. The mask she puts on is more of a drywall than cement. Grief and numbness do not bond well. She still can't bring herself to call me by his name, my name. Hurt? Yeah, it will, like any major surgery, the doctor says. We're literally cutting off his fingers and replacing them. Don't worry, he'll be under the whole time and on pain blockers while he heals. Ice, also, lots of ice. More than likely, he will have to ice those joints for the rest of his life. She nods, and for a second, something flashes across her face. Worry? Roddy had no such problems. And it will be a success, yes? You have done this before? He asks. The doctor turns away from me and wipes his forehead with a tissue. There's a half a dozen of those in the trash can already. I feel like cracking a joke, something like, hey doc, make sure nothing slips while you're cutting, but I know better. My new parents do not care for jokes, or smiles. I miss my mom and dad so bad it hurts. Yes, absolutely, he says. I perform 3-4 of these a year, I'm yet to fail. Rod is chewing on his lip to the point of bleeding. I see a question forming under all that sustained indifference. So does my doctor. I know, he says, I could make millions out there somewhere. With the right team around me, I could probably do more than just a finger transplant, but ask yourself this. How long will I live with every single intelligence agency in the world offer my services? How long before they decide I'm more useful dead than alive? Once I train their staff, of course. He gets up and walks to the door. Flickering light makes him look like almost cartoony. See those two guys in front? It's a statement more than a question. Of course we've seen them. They're huge and tacky. No one gets to see the doc without going through them first. Serbian mob, Zenon plan. I trust them with my life. You know why? Rada shakes his head. Honor. There is no debt stronger than honor, the doctor says. My first few patients were guys on the Interpol most wanted list. Give a man a new lease on life, a new identity. Help him see his kids again, and he owes you more than money. I trust a thief. I don't trust a lawman, especially if it's not one of our own. He walks back to his desk, pulls out a piece of paper and hands it over to Rada. This price is for you. I hear you're related to the clan. I added a discount. Rada stares at it without a word. The vein on his forehead bulges and pulses a quiet storm. After a while, he hands the paper to Melina. She gasps and grabs her chest. How did these two ever find each other? I think to myself. That is a lot of money, she says. The doctor smiles. Yes, it is. And if you were not blood, I would not think twice about turning it down. But here we are, all trying to make a better life for ourselves, yes? They both stare at him. Milena reaches out for Rada's hand, but he pushes it off. No signs of weakness in negotiation, I suppose. Only, he was always negotiating. So here's what I'm thinking. You got the immigrant visa thing, yes? You were all set to go prior to the accident. No kid, no visa. And now you still can. So you pay me over time, eh? It takes you 10 years maybe. Maybe you get lucky. This kid is smart enough to get a nice degree and you pay me off earlier. Who knows, you make your own luck over there. They look at each other in quiet understanding. They will go through this, I know. I guess I've known from the moment they adopted me. I was never going to be your one, not with a shadow of the dead boy looming over me wherever I go. It's fine. You don't want to be me anymore. Too much pain in that one. I wonder how it would feel to be someone else. I wonder if my new parents will stop treating me like a means to an end. I wonder if they will love me. And what happens if he can't make a payment? Milena asks, her voice very whisper. Doctor smiles wider. His gaze moves from the couple to a sword collection hanging on the wall above their heads. I don't think the placement was accidental. I take the fingers back. I'm sorry, kid, but I can't have you work here anymore, Greg says, my heart sinking through my feet and into a dark, deep pit. I swallow hard and carefully consider what I've just heard. Why? It's all I can manage to get through. He's nervous. keep shooting glances behind me to the open door in the lumberyard behind us. There are 3 huge piles of wood junk out there, rotting in the rain. It smells of mildew, even with a layer of vapor rub under my nose. A trick Roddy taught me. I had a call from Bolly, he says. Someone reported me having a 14-year-old work full-time. I lied and told him it's not true, but I can't risk them doing a full investigation. Not with the fines Oregon is slapping on us these days. Sorry, kid. He looks like he means it. Greg never lies to me. Even when he gave me a job for less than minimum wage, he was straight up about it. Yes, it's less money, but you won't get a job anywhere else until you're 16. And even then with limited hours. Them's the cards, kid. My fists clench and I feel the itch in my fingers. I wish I had not given away my ice pack. Did they say who it was? I asked. Come on, kid, you know how it works. It's an anonymous complaint, always. He gives me a hug, and for the first time in years, I feel a genuine human concern. He was a capitalist piece of shit, but a caring piece of shit. It felt good, I'm not gonna lie. You come back in a few years, and the job waits for you, okay? Hell, with the way the state is raising the minimum wage, I'll be paying you more than I pay myself. Break the bank and all. I don't know how to get back. I don't know how. I just walk out, exit the smelly yard, and hop on the first bus home. There'll be hell to pay, I know. I stand outside the building and stare at the light in the window. It's raining harder now, and I'm soaked through, a deep chill creeping up all over me. I can see Milana walking around the apartment working on dinner. Roddy is probably already in his chair watching Blazers. I love basketball, but he never asked me to watch it with him. He never does anything with me, other than drive me to school. I might as well be dead to him, more dead than... The hallway of the building smells like cabbage and pork once I am inside. Milana is a good cook, not as good as my mom used to be, but she's trying. I think it keeps her sane. It's not easy, I know. Grief makes a hell of a sous chef. I hear the sounds of the game as I get closer. I'm nervous. I have no idea how to tell them I lost the job. This is not one of those, oh well, there'll be another job types of a thing. We need the money not just to live. We need the money so we don't die. There are maybe a handful of Serbians in Portland, but I have no doubt some of them are connected. My fingers itch bad now. I walk in, hunkered shoulders and shaky knees. The aroma of the food is much stronger in here and mixed with tobacco smoke. Rada loved his pipe. The room is barely decorated, furniture more functional than aesthetic. IKEA stuff mostly. In one corner, a huge TV and a tiny stand defying physics. In the other, a glass case with an accordion inside. It used to belong to him, the dead boy. I hear he was good at it. When Milana talks about it, she cries. Rada does not, but there's something almost like pride in his words. Tonight, I get neither. You got fired, he says before I can even begin to explain. A plate shatters in the kitchen. If he knew, he did not tell Milana. Broken plates, broken family. How do we ever stitch ourselves together? There are no miracle doctors for that. Yes, I say. What did you do? I shrug my shoulders but remain quiet. It's not like he'll believe anything I say anyway. I'll tell you exactly what you did, he continues, pipe dangling in his mouth. He does not slur words, ever. It's always calm and calculated. I sometimes wish he would drink, but he doesn't. I could deal with drunk rage. Oh boy, I would have a blast with that. But this cold steel thing gets me every time. You hit that boy at school, he raises his hand to stop my denial. Don't even bother. I get a call from the school. Someone saw you. I'm sorry, I say, but I don't mean it. Why would I be sorry? I stood up for myself. My dad would have been proud. My fists are tight like rocks now, and the itch has turned to pain. It feels like bugs under my skin, burrowing. Sorry doesn't cut it, he says. Did you know his mom is a lawyer? Who do you think called the state and reported you? Milana is out of the kitchen now, still holding the dustpan. She's numb again. Defense mechanisms kicking in. Don't deal, never deal, just push it all down. Now she starts, but he will not hear it. He's in the zone now, like those guys on the TV behind him. How many times did I tell you to keep quiet? How many times? Keep your head down. Do not make waves. Idiots. Rage. Finally, a language I can speak well. Call me that again. and it will be your last time. I say it clearly without raising my voice. Never shout your threats. You lose credibility with decibels. What did you just say? Fire in my fingers matches the fire in my heart. I unload for the first time, finally finding my voice. You heard me. What, do you think I feel grateful for any of this? What kind of life is this? I'm not him. I will never be him. I'm not even myself. I don't even know who I am. You have made me no one. No one. He stands there dumbfounded. Milena is already on the floor. No dustbin big enough to put her back together. I hate this. I hate it so much. You said you were going to take care of me, but you have done nothing of the sort. All you did is flick his fingers and his name on me and turn me into a ghost. I am a living boy. Do you hear me? I am alive. He is not. I don't know how and when I got so close to the glass display. All I know is that the sound of glass breaking and Milena's scream merged into one, and I found myself holding the accordion with every intention of tossing it out the window. Rage was a river running through me now, and I rushed to join the ocean. A jolt of electricity in my hands. An explosion of white pain brings me to my knees. My fingers are in full spasms now, each and every one taking a life on its own. They contract and extend, a bizarre worm-like dance completely out of my control. I can only watch in horror as they intertwine and rub against each other, as if they're looking for something, a purpose. And then, the music. It starts out slow, fingers feeling out the keys like forked tongues. Careful with here, a touch there, exploring, testing out the boundaries. Notes fill the air, a few at a time, uncertain, searching, waking up from a long sleep. Moments later, hands run across the keyboard on one side and buttons on the other, this time brimming with confidence. Melody breaks through, a violent and unbounded arpeggio rising and dropping in octaves, pushing through major chords, its pace frenzied but under control. This is a virtuoso in action. Whatever muscle memory, whatever magic this was, it comes from him, the dead boy. Something else is there too. The realization. I am dead. I am alive. I am two boys merged into one, both equally lost to the people in front of us. One they can't, and one they don't want to see. We want nothing else than to belong, to be loved. Such a small thing, but so distant. Our music picks up on it and alters the tune. It slows down, drops a few registers. Playing out emotions is never fast. Sorrow is a slow burn. With the last notes out, the dead boy leaves. He says his final goodbye to the flesh he had forsaken a long time ago. I am abandoned yet again, kneeling on the floor. Accordion feels heavy, a dead weight around my neck. I look up. They are holding each other. For the first time since my adoption, I see Robin and Milena embrace each other, unashamed. There is no blame, no guilt shared between them. Tears run down both their faces, as if the grief that's been poisoning them for so long has finally found a way out. They pick me up off the floor and grab me from both sides, burying their faces into my wet clothes. We cried together then, the three of us. Today, I turned 14, wearing my own name and my own fingers.
Thanks, show of applause. Do we want him back? Right on, that was quite an unexpected EC Comics style delight. There's a Serbian expression I heard once, ashes and honey, a little bit of the best of both worlds. Last performer of the evening actually had something to do with this blurb. It's all one long poem since 1989. Fucking fun, sorry Henry. It's an off-brand, the X picked it out, it's going to be getting smashed pretty soon. It's all one long poem since 1989 with Jessica Pearl Drake at Gmail or at Drake Just Drake on Instagram. For other poetical content in forms of text, image, video, audio, theater, painting, creative research, and social practice, try saying that 12 times. Jess was raised in the rural Pacific Northwest and schooled in California, based in Portland since 2011. Jess proudly created live performances with the Backspace era Portland Poetry Slam, Hand to Mouth Theater Company at Shout House Studio for rentals, Coho Productions in Northwest, Slabtown, Oregon, the Oregon Institute for Creative Research, and a whole bunch of other cool collaborators. Please welcome her to the Hour stage for the first time, Jess Drake.
Really nice to hear those words spoken out loud, like affirmative words. I've been editing my resume every day. I'm leaving Portland on Tuesday again. Maybe I'm never coming back to Portland. I'm not angry. I am angry about a lot of things. I have a spirograph now. These things, I found it at Walgreens. It makes great designs. I've been responding to some of the work shared tonight with my little doodles, and I'll send pictures of them. I'm really happy to be here. This page printed twice, so I can't read the text. Okay. Listen to your wife when she talks to you, especially if her talk about a problem passing by. You would like to share her opinion, advice, listen to her. Do not neglect her. Okay, I just want to only read that one off these pages, maybe more. But because I'm trying to connect a thread that happened about, international, automatic translation, which is a sort of feature on my phone that I've been using more recently in writing. Microphone's recording. I read Subprophone earlier, and this is to the point. So I was getting these texts in Arabic mysteriously at very strange times. So I translated them, and then and I don't want to talk about those right now. First 7 things you see, plus audio. We're going to close with that. Predicative poetry by Jessica Pearl Drake, or predictable poetry. Again, using this automatic, when you're texting and it tells you 3 buttons as if it knows what you want to say. I like to troll that back. I do it, I'm like, no, skip a letter back, and then I argue with it and I write poetry that way. Yeah. Down with the robots. Predictable poetry. These poems range from December 2016 to January 2018. December 2016, Portland, Oregon. My name has a new friend. My age has only been 1 for a year. I live with a friend, and a full time. I was born with the best of me. My body is a strong man, but he doesn't care for you. I am looking for the best way out. I enjoy it so far, but it doesn't show me how. My hobbies include a lot more. My ideal partner would have to stay with me for the first preview. My turn-ons have a nice view, and my turn-off is the way I am doing this now. August 21st, 2017. Rome, Italy. I'm going to sleep now. I'm going to sleep. I can see the whole thing. I'm not going too far. I can see the whole thing. The Moon River has a beautiful soul, and I'm not feeling this today. I'm going too soon. I love the fact I have a whole life. I'm not going too far. The Moon Tiger King, the bank of the United New States. The Moon River, Moon Eclipse. This is my dream deep down. I love this song. September 30th, 2017, Cairo, Egypt. Not afraid to be offered ring of your heart. Oh, I just want to say, I wrote this sitting at a cafe in Cairo. I found a collective of young writers. It was really, it was sort of a challenge to find spaces where young people can gather freely and share their writing in words, but it's happening there, and maybe I'll boost it later, but I just want to shout out to those people. Keep doing it. Alright, not afraid to be offered ring of your heart. Veil is a real pleasure to be torn down. Glasses have a new prescription, and I don't have a room of my own. Hello, from the beginning. Goodbye, my life. Hello, hello, hi, hello. Welcome back home. Welcome to my life. You can do that to your own. Family is so, so sweet. Home from my home skillet. Crush Monday morning, sleep whenever. Wake me, shaking my mind, take me, quaking inside, spiritually rattling the bones. Ancestors do have our back. Grandmother cracked open this shell with a teaspoon and let me keep the pearl. Royal inheritance. Grandfather cracked open this log with an axe. Bam! Let me keep the firewood. Labor, intensive, giving birth to man. Sweat, blood, tears, swear this flesh offering, break the waters, flow in destiny's direction, cut the cord, trust fall into the gravity of this one life. November 19th, 2017. Danville, California. Hi, I am on the road. Hi, I just got off my call. Hi, I'm sorry to bother. Hi, I'm here at home. And hi, I am on the road. Hi, I just woke back. I am so grateful. I am not so happy. Hi, I am sorry. Hi, I am going home now. Hi. I am here instead. December 16th, 2017, Wenatchee, Washington. I am just so happy! I'm just passing downtown, going back and forth, and now I'm going back and forth, and then I don't know how to make it to the new year. I just got home. I don't have a problem with the new moon, with the full moon. I have a gift for my family. Got it for me and my family. And family, fun to be in a friend's family, friendly way fun, for now I'm just passing through my gate. Gay is going back and forth with the family. Family is here with you too. Hi, sweetie. Hi, sweetie. How do we get together? Today, tomorrow, tonight, too late, afternoon, soon, sooner, soonest, since yesterday. Utopia was gardening in my mind. Sincerely yours. January 3rd, 2018, Portland, Oregon. Hallucinating from the new news feed, I'm sorry to hear you. I love you so too much. Michael, forgive me. Michelle, I forgive you. Michael, protect me, my friend. Cooler than air. B&B, BRB. Lady of the house, do not think about me. Man of the house, do not dream of me. Dog of the house, do not beg for me. Rent is due, overdue, like my loans to all the places where I learned a thing or two, or time will tell. Renting from a home base is the best way better than a little city center in downtown with a city center. I got home from the airport, no, not that place again. Bus station, train station, family station wagon, then Oregon Trail, trailer, trader, trash, my room. Everything must be done correctly, neat and tidy, orderly, and order in the courts now. Nothing much happens. Happening now. I'll see what happens when? January 29th. Isn't there any more fun? Isn't that this? Isn't there any way? Tomorrow afternoon, morning, right? Now, bitch on the floor. We have a choice now to make together. Hello, room. We can go into like some lyrics that I even kind of created a alter ego rap star named Alphabet, because the shit was coming out and I was like, oh, that's rude. I don't want to say that. I'm very nice. My name's just really kind of nice. So I don't know. We could read that. It's also on YouTube. So let's go to first 7 things you see right now are heaven. Text from feelings. You have to understand the sanctity of the marital bond. A heavy charter. Think 1,000 times before taking a step after. It does not benefit remorse. If you miss your wife, apologize to her. Do not sleep your night. You are angry with her. Sad. Crying. Remember, what you are angry at most does not deserve to disturb the life of your marriage. Does not need all that emotion. Do not make your wife jealous of your work. by distracting him too much. Do not make him take all your time. Do not deprive you at the time of leave, whether at home or outside, so as not to feel bored or sagging. Friendship. Romantic friendship between spouses. The most important in the marital relationship. Woman should be careful to be a sincere friend. Way will increase the strength of the relationship between. I tell your husband from time to time, he is your husband, your biggest concern, and nothing is more important to you. Avoid this method of praise. If you want to praise your wife, you are a wonderful person, but you forget all your praise. Remember only what excused it only. Listen to your wife when she talks to you, especially if her talk about a problem passing by. You would like to share her opinion. Advice? Listen to her. Do not neglect her. November 2017, California. Does anyone here play board games? Catan, Settlers of Catan. We had some Oregon-themed writing earlier. This is about being like a white person who's really proud to be from the Pacific Northwest and an American, and my family's been here a long time, but I also like get that like I'm a white person and people were here first, and try to figure out how to like not create more problems for that unjust system, and how to help other white people maybe like get more comfortable with that too. Hey. I don't know. So I was playing Settlers of Catan and thinking about racism. I wrote this poem. Yes, we Catan! The longest road, lined in red blocks. Piece by piece, claiming territory, not my own, returning to my home base, timber forests, charred, black, scars from summer fires, halfway up, summer fires still burning, stop burning, there's still life at the top, see the leaves shake in the breeze, bemoaning overabundance of sheep, the most useless reward still necessary for the ceaseless production of settled land. Still, we give him thanks for family, for fertile land, for friendships, offering hope, healing, health, in the pursuit of happiness in times like these. Who has the biggest army? Do points even matter in this end game? Cities are constructed to hold more. Monopoly is not a winning game. Everyone feels like a loser. No one wants to play. So go back to backgammon, raise the stakes, return to the basics with a little bit of luck. The roll of the dice. Materials do make a difference. Magnets still get lost in the swirling pattern. I prefer wood to plastic. Plastic, what is sustainable? What is winning? What is the point of keeping points? The pledge to play the game as best one can with strategy and a little bit of luck. My name is Drake, and there's a famous rapper who's also named Drake, so I like to bother him on social media. I feel like I just get to, because we have the same name. I don't even know if I'm a fan, I'm just a watch out, you know. Cool, yeah, this one works. So, who's do it. I was like reading the lyrics to one of his raps, and then I started freestyling my own. It became a new piece, and I was checking the lyrics. I was like, oh no, it's mine now. So I'm not worried about it. Drake. Yeah, you know me. Turn the 502503. 503. Yeah, 503. Yeah. PDX. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, hoo, 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 hoo. Drake, just Drake, at Drake, just Drake, oh, word. Jessica Drake, nah, Jessica Pearl, Drake put the pearl in the clamshell, see? Me, Elvis Presley, he's the king, but I could be your queen, see? Got no address I can share, just some zips and underwear, overwear, oh, word. Came up on the side, PNW side, might be on the other side, NYC too busy for me and LAX too, but I got my friends in places. I remember all the faces, I can switch them like I hit them, I can say that shit too. Well, I get back to go outside, I split it with the guys, like a log with my axe in the forest, chop wood, carry water. Now, me, on the other side, I've been gone since like July 2017, bitches acting like I died, they won't be expecting when Cairo go to slide. So, cause I told them that we put that shit behind us, but I lied. Look who I'm around, man. If I fucked up, I'm gonna be downtown, man. 4th floor bound, man. 14th floor bound, man. That's if I got caught, man. Push me to the edge, so it really ain't my motherfucking fault. Man, I'm not to blame, man. This fucking industry is cutthroat. It's not the same, man, and I could let you check the tag now. I'm rocking, I'm only chasing, I got a game plan, and I'm out here with the woo. I get tucks, I get racks to go outside, and I split it with the guys. Rap. Bitch, come through and thorough. Yes, sir, and you. Sir, too. I'm get the money, word, Dr. Drake. Get a scholarship for this shit. Get the loot, Drizzy. I don't know him, but he sounds pretty cool. Pull up with that Draco, huh? Harry Potter, what? Harry Potter, what? In the Drake, like the dragon, like my GOT, Game of Thrones, bitch, I can believe. Play with Drake and I'm gonna shoot that on my mama. Keep her safe, my mama, my instrument. Be French horn, and then I blow you like it. Giggles? What? He feeling it. He pull up broad day with the K. Nah, he's silver, he's shiver, and he's drop like he litter, and huh? Yeah, we at your door, we like the deliverance, we at your door delivery man, we at your door delivery man. You wanna play that scene out, we could. He's not a plug, he's a middleman. He's not a pug, he's a little brown pug named Kevin Man. That bitch white, like vanilla? Not quite. I got the rounds like Sugar Ray Robinson. Shush you to the chest. Now you gasp for oxygen. I'm a spraying, just like a breeze, like the breeze. Nah, keep the scent away from me. Came a long way from sitting in the nosebleed. Still kinda there though, got a good view though. That's it. Okay, last now. Since that sort of persona, we'll just finish it. Okay. The message is important. The alphabet thing, I'm not worried about it. Don't worry about it. It's called She's Not to Blame by Jessica Drake. And I need music for this. If I was a rapper star, my name would be Alphabet. Bet? Alpha? Yeah, you bet you pet my ass. You can bet on that. Ask if I was a rapper, fool. You better make me laugh. Cause shit ain't funny when you're out of cash and the capitalism crash. Of course, shit is worse when you've had too much like greedy little pigs. Oink, we tee, all the way home. If you search for my full name, go Google, will show you a porno. But honestly, it's not to blame. Survivor solemn motto. She's born this way with tits and ass, yellow hair too. Betty paid some money to a lawyer, or 6, Betty laid some threats in the mouths of other men. Well, hex that. Fuck this. Us women so sick of your ways. Wanna rape us, blame us, silence us, and maim us. Really trump us, shame us, shout at us, enslave us. Gonna scarlet letter us, porn star and feather us. Take your milk from her breast, then advertise with us. Titties, tatas, tits, too tasty. Boobies, breasts, oh mama, save me. No, no, no. All my sisters say no. No. No, no, no. All my sisters practice saying no. No, no, no. All my brothers say no now. All my sisters say no now. And my brothers say no. No, 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 no. So you can say yes. Yes, if you want it, when you want it, really want it all the way in. Yes! 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 Your body? Yes! Your choice? Yes! Your cunt? Yes! Your voice? Yes, your breast? Your chest? Whatever! Your belly? Your hair? Whatever! Yes. But Alpha started bleeding with the new millennium. Home alone in northern Idaho, she didn't make a sound. Stranger things had happened, but not to me before. At 11 years old, she locked that door and felt really, really old. Stranger things had happened since Silver Valley Red. The world may be turned upside down, alien voices in her head. Our people perch on rooftops, our houses fall, and cars float away. Duh. Bitch be making her way to the north to the west of the sea. Pacific NW, put metal in before its fire, put a 20th century brand on me. It's red, hot, it's blood, blue, it's volcanic up in here. This ring of fire is my campfire. Mountain, guys, beware. So Silver Mountain to Silverwood, Rainier and Juice for brunch. St. Helens Ash, baptized by flavors. Now we go and doing lunch meetings. We took Mount Hood, oh, I win, and thanks for the land we share. Crawled along a moss and log to cross a flooded bank. Stepped into mushroom rings. Listen how proud evergreen sings.
Keep looking to see if that little level's still going. Yeah, cut it all. Awesome. One more time, just right. We've pretty much nailed down the slot here for last Sunday of the month. The next one, the next hour that stretches is going to be on August the 26th, the last Sunday in August. So far we have 2 authors that a publicist was kind enough to bring to me through some different internet channels than the usual. A science fiction author named Y.T. Chang, a speculative fiction author, and I believe a veteran named F.I. Goldhaber, and one of Nathan Carson's picks. Nathan Carson is the drummer for a doom metal band called Witch Mountain, and he's been headhunting for us for a long, long time. Nathan found a humorist named Kelly Baker who is utterly unlike anything we've ever had at the hour, which is why I want him immediately. But same time, same channel. Please show your bar staff some love on the way out. They give us a place to play once a month, and we are eternally grateful for the audio. We're just going to try audio only tonight, but it'll be up on the website very soon. That's the.hourthatstretches.org or facebook.com/hourthatstretches will have the links to the stuff, but the audio is going directly up on the site. Again, give yourselves a big hand. Thank you all very much for coming out. See you next time.